कैसी जर्नी रही? जर्नी कैसी रही?
ठीक बढ़िया। सर रात को सोए नहीं।
I've come to Castle Bijaipur, one of my favorite places in my travels, and I discovered this place quite accidentally actually. We were going trekking to the higher Himalayas with a group of people from England, and we had the owners of Superdrug, Moody Blues and all sorts of other people, very interesting. But due to heavy rains, the trek got cancelled. So the tour operator suggested that we came here to Rajasthan, and we went to a few other places and we ended up here in this castle. I was fascinated by this place. It's so remote, far away from anywhere. Now there's a little history behind this castle. It was built about 380 years ago, and it belonged to the Mewar dynasty, the dynasty that ruled more or less western part of Rajasthan. And so this castle was built to warn the main fort, which is about 40 kilometers away, Chittorgarh fort, one of the largest in India. And this castle warned the advancing enemies from the east and got the main fort prepared for a war. So it is surrounded by a very fertile land, and it's in, you can say, in central India. It borders between Rajasthan and another state called Central Provinces, Madhya Pradesh. And so it is very remote, so it has lots of things that have been preserved for hundreds of years. The culture, the different traditions, in this sparsely populated area, but it's very fertile, very fertile. And you can grow so many different crops. Here you find nomadic tribes, here you find ancient centers of schools in different disciplines. So we I found this place fascinating. So I spoke to the owner of the castle, my friend Rao. I said, look, I'm going to bring my groups here for health because it's a wonderful place to walk in. You walk into different villages and see different things, tribals, lakes, and in the August period, July, August, you have heavy monsoon. So all this area, it's basically a plateaued area with hills all around, and it becomes alive. Lots of trees, and you find a lot of animals in this area. So it's a combination of health. We do yoga every day. We have massages at the end of the day, and during the day we trek, we walk in these small hills. Easy to walk, but we walk for 3 hours, 4 hours in a day, and there are lots of temples and holy men in the caves which we used to meet and talk to. So this has been an important place in my professional life, because I practice in London, I have my clinic and did all these things there, wrote books, but where did I actually carry out these therapies? This is how my spa concept was born, out in the open, where people can walk and have swim, have massages, have treatments, do meditation, and we could organize the diet, so it became a complete program. This is a very special part of Castle Bijaipur. This is the courtyard, the oldest part of the castle, and it was built 380 years ago this year. So you have the old part of the castle, and you have a raised platform. The ruler used to sit there and he used to hold court. the common people would come here and sit in this courtyard and discuss their problems, ask for help, or whatever the problems may be. So this area is very fertile. It's got the black soil where you can grow everything. So they have been growing opium here for a long time. They have several crops in a year, but one of the crops, the winter crop, is mainly opium. Amongst other things, they grow barley, wheat, and rice in some places. So opium is a cash crop, brings in a lot of profit. So the Maharaja, Maharana as they call him in Mewar, lived 40 kilometers away in Chittorgarh Fort, and he used to collect revenue from the crops here. So this family used to collect the taxes from these farmers and used to send it to the central government. Rao Narendra Singh, who is the current owner of the castle, is the 13th generation of the youngest brother of Maharana Pratap Singh, the greatest of Mewar's rulers. He's very well known, Maharana Pratap Singh. So Shakti Singh was his youngest brother. So that lineage continued in this castle. Now Rao Narendra Singh basically had control of over 95 villages in the area, considering that they are spread out all over the place. So he had a substantial power in this area. They respected him. He continues to help them. Of course, things have changed now after the independence of India, but he still goes to these villages, and tries to help them. He's been a politician as well, trying to get grants from the government, improve the roads. The road was built because of him, and so that the connectivity was better. Then he built several dams in the area to store water so that people could have water in drier months. And of course the wildlife, there are over 200 species of bird. Rao Narendra Singh took up photography. I remember all this over the years, and he started photographing the birds. So you see all around the castle, you see his photographs of the birds. Then there was wildlife. There are no tigers here. Tigers have gone to Ranthambore area further east, but you do find leopards now due to the conservationist approach of the government. The leopard and panther population has grown, and then you have the blue bulls and the spotted deer and the wolves, jackals, no sloth bears here. So he was making sure that these animals were protected, and until a few years ago there used to be millions of birds coming from Siberia during the winter months, and the lakes were full of fish. They used to have a good time here. Every year, I remember it used to be like a carpet full of ducks, and the noise in the background. So somebody had to control all this. So over a period of a few days, you will see Rao Sahab, as he is called, and his work here. But I tell you, this place is special. I brought my guests here. I have trained NHS doctors here in this courtyard. We used to hold many of our classes here, and I used to sometimes stand on that high ground teaching them different techniques of mind, massage techniques, treatment of frozen shoulder, backache, arthritis, polio victims, stroke patients, all sorts of people. We have used this place to train the NHS doctors. It's so remote. We used to hold camps in different villages, and Rao would send messages in advance, and people would come, sometimes 200, 300 people, and I used to see them. We used to bring bag full of medicine, sometimes giving it to these poor people. They were not exposed to normal medicine. They used to take herbs, and they treated themselves using their own techniques, which was going on for thousands of years. And it is for this reason I used to be here. I used to trek through the jungles, 6, 7 days in a row, camp there. Whatever was available, I used to, we used to carry grains, but we used to camp near a lake or a spring, and to go around. I used to study these herbs, and for my spas that I ran in Europe and other places, I used to get many of the ingredients like aloe vera, which is used in my anti-aging program, used to come from this particular area. Then the amla and other things, shatavari, to boost up the hormones, and all procured in these jungles. So this is a very special place for my work. This, and of course the Himalayas, where I developed the high altitude treatment program. I used altitude as a method of boosting the body's immune system or the body's energy system. This morning we are going to an incredible temple. It's in the middle of nowhere, and somehow people who get paralyzed or injured, who cannot walk, and who have problems of using their hands, they are brought there for healing. It's called the Healing Temple. The belief is that they have prayers several times during the day when the offerings are made to the goddess, and during that period these paralyzed people, they get healed, and some do for whatever reason, but there are many who don't, but they stay there for a month, sometimes several months. I'm going to show you what I can do for some of them, hopefully. So let's go there.